That was a fun win to be a part of. Our players, we talked in the locker room. We talked, after the game at USC about, just being all in and trusting each other, trusting the process. And we had some tough conversations, throughout the week, offensively, defensively, of what we need to do and how we need to adjust and how we need to play better. And the response by our coaches, our offensive coordinator, our defensive coordinator, our offensive staff, defensive staff was outstanding. But more importantly, our players. Our players played with the hair on fire, played with detail, played with great fundamentals, and just really proud of our kids, man. Really, really proud of our kids and how they played.
Start here on the left with Tony.
Building on that, essentially 200 in the air, 200 on the ground, like defense,
Balance.
sparking the offense. Just how much did this feel sort of like the whole time?
Felt like Michigan football. Felt like what it should feel like. When you have a win, it feels like that. But there's still things you look through, and offensively, we got to be able to get those 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s. Those 4th and 1s we got to get. So we'll go back to the drawing board on that and what we got to do to get better there. Because there's going to be games where it's going to come down to that, and we got to just do a better job there. I thought tackling was so much better on defense, and just fundamentally sound, because the quarterback is dangerous, the running back is dangerous. I think he leads the country in missed tackles or something like that, and just overall, great job by our kids.
On the right, Chris.
Can you just talk about the defense as a whole and then Cole's play and what a game changer that was?
Yeah, it was unbelievable play. He just continues to find the ball in the moments that you need him, and in moments you need somebody to make a play. Sully always he just shows up, and it's because he's always in the right position. He's always doing his job, doing it right, doing it full speed, whether it's on special teams, on defense, and that was huge. And then for us to score the next play was just great momentum. Jimmy Roeder gets an interception, we go down and score. Those are the things that you need as a team to go win. So it was huge, and as a defense, just tackled better, played with better fundamentals, played with better eyes. The basic things that you need to go win football games, and that's what we did.
And then any update on Evan Link and Rodmore and Justice?
Yeah, so Evan, not really sure. Doesn't look too good. I know it was a lower body thing, but we'll see. We'll see how he does. And Justice and Rod were game time decisions. They practice throughout the week, and we always err on the side of, even sometimes when they want to go, making sure that they're full strength before we do anything. So they're game time decisions.
Ernest, okay.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
John.
Coach, could you have envisioned that kind of a defensive turnaround in 1 week? That was a little bit of a frustrating group last week.
Yeah, I think when you look at the weeks before, that's what it looked like. It looked like that. So it was a little out of character last week and what it looked like in all phases, and it's just not one person to blame. We're a team. So as a team, we had to fix it, and we got to keep doing it because we got a long way to go, and we got a lot of football left to play. We know we got a big game next week that I got my mind on right now. I got to give myself 24 hours. We got to give ourselves 24 hours, but I find myself wanting to go to the building and go watch the film on them right now. But I think they play at 3:30. They play at 3:30, Dave?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll watch that. But yeah, I just proud of the team, proud of the players.
In the back, Sam.
Were the tight ends being more involved? Was that a decision that came before Klein and Hansen were ruled out? And can you just talk about how Zach Marshall and Tony Ellie stepped up in their absence?
Yeah, that's just something we thought we had to do throughout the game. Before those guys even, again, both of them, possibly could go. They'll return soon, but that room is deep. I think Coach Kasula does a really good job coaching those guys, and all those guys have ability, and you saw it today in the run and pass game. We think really highly of Zach Marshall and really highly of Deacon Tonelli, and we always talk about next man up, and in that room it's just the next guy's got to go, and it doesn't really matter who it is and what number it is, you got to go. So the decision was already made before that even happened.
In the front there, Aaron.
Sherrone, you mentioned those tough conversations that had to be had this week in practice. Could you just go into a little more detail what you felt like needed to be said and why you felt confident that they were going to listen and respond this week?
Yeah, those tough conversations stay in house. There are conversations. Nobody else needs to hear what was said, but we responded. Everybody responded, offensively, defensively, special teams. We responded. So you got to have those. In any great organizations, in any great family, there's conflict. There's things that happen. You got to push each other, and we did that this week. But we got to continue to do it.
Austin.
Sherrone, Cole was just in here and mentioned this kind of felt like a fork in the road type moment for you guys.
Mhm.
Did you feel that as well?
I mean, kind of, not really. The players put so much hard work into what they do. You know, we talked about the winter, the spring, the summer, fall camp, to now to have these opportunities that you have. That was our, we have 2 more opportunities in the big house, to play. And you don't want to let those opportunities falter. So we really wanted to make sure that this was the time that, we went this way versus this way. And I think as a team we did. And so for me, it was more of, we got to go win this game, do everything we can. And I thought the players just rallied. They rallied behind each other and rallied behind the coaches and rallied behind Michigan.
And then with Rod, I don't believe he was on the injury report. Was there like any soreness or anything with his knee that popped up?
Yeah, there was just game time decision. He practiced these past couple days. So, but again, it's like we're always going to do whatever in the best interest of the kid. Even if they want to go. So he probably could have went, but we just felt like it wasn't that time.
In the front left here, Steve.
Sherrone, the game was there for the taking at halftime. What do you think enabled your team to reach out to grab it on both sides of the ball?
Willpower, just the want. They wanted it more. And again, credit to Coach Fish and their football team. I think they got a really good football team and dynamic players, but our guys wanted it more. And at the end of the day, that's football. It's pretty simple. You got to want it more than them, and if you do that, you can come away with victories like that.
Back right, Ryan.
Sherrone, what goes into deciding who and who isn't on the pregame availability report? Like Justice was obviously on there as questionable, but Rod and Brandon Hillman were not and didn't end up playing.
Yeah, just when they guys that practice, guys that lead up to the game, and they feel like they're ready, and then when you get to the game, they could do warm-ups. They go through warm-ups, and it feels like, okay, well, that doesn't look exactly right. So those are the things that we make the decisions off of.
Go over to the left, Angelique.
Sherrone, not asking the content of those conversations, the tough ones you said you had, but how do you handle it so that you're not, with your coaches and players, holding them accountable, but not letting it boil down to finger pointing?
Yeah, I mean, in this position, you got to hold everybody accountable. And I got to hold myself accountable. I got to hold the coaches accountable. I got to hold the players accountable. So that's just part of it. And same thing, coaches to players, players to coaches, all those things. So that's just part of football. It's part of great organizations. When you do that, you've got to do that. You got to have those conversations. And we talked about hardship plus commitment plus trust equals connection. And we wanted to stay connected. And I felt like we had some hardships last week. We asked and seen everybody that's committed, and at the end of the day, we all had to trust each other. And if we did that, we would end up winning this game and be connected.
Also, could you assess Jordan Marshall's play?
Career high, 25 carries, 133 yards, and a touchdown. Outstanding. Ran physical, ran hard, did the little things right, and just played really well.
Bojo.
Sherrone, as far as Bryce's development, did you feel like today was maybe his cleanest game today as far as mistakes and no mistakes?
Yeah, I think so. There was one motion that we thought he could have got, but besides that, I think it was pretty clean, especially throwing the football, decision making, thought process, and there's pieces that you want more, and there's a high standard for him and what he wants, and he has a high standard for himself. So we're going to keep pushing him to reach that standard. But I think for this game was as clean as he's played. You look at the stats; he was 21 to 27. What was it, 70-something%?
78.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. He continues to take care of the football, which is huge, especially as a true freshman. So he's doing everything possible on the field, off the field to reach that potential, and he just continues to do it, and proud of him.
On the left there, Michael.
Sherrone, when you think about the emotion coming out of Los Angeles last week and then the quality of the response today and the way that they played, where do you think that kind of leaves this team in terms of the goals you'd like to accomplish over the next 6 weeks and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now in terms of the goals, we just need to focus on this next week. We can't worry about what's going to happen or what team's going to win and what team's going to lose. We just got to win each game, and it starts with this next one next week. And that's a big one. It's a huge one. We all know the implications. We all know the rivalry. We all know what it's about. So we got to do everything we can to prepare mentally, physically, emotionally for that game, and then let everything fall where it may.
In front here, Tom.
Sherrone,
DeMond Williams, very versatile quarterback. I mean, he's looked upon in high esteem throughout the country. What was there special strategy schemes to keep him under wraps? It seems like you really did a good job with him today.
Oh yeah, I mean you gotta keep eyes on him all the time. You gotta be disciplined with your rushes. And I thought our D-line, there's a couple times he got out, but you can't just let him have free plays. And first you got to stop the run. Whether it's quarterback run, running back run, and we did that. We held him to 40 yards on 23 attempts, which is outstanding. And if you do that and force a guy to just be a pocket passer, especially when they're smaller, it's harder. It's harder for them. It's harder for anybody if you're just going to throw the ball. If you're going to sit back there and throw the ball and you can't be balanced, it's hard. You can dictate the coverages and things that you want to stop the pass. So just an unbelievable job by the staff and the players of buying into the process of how to stop them.
All right, we're going to take two more for Coach because we got the players here. We got Joel in the back, in the middle.
Yeah, Sherrone, obviously we've talked a ton about Bryce already, but freshmen and sophomores like Andrew Marsh, George Marshall, Cole Sullivan, these guys are showing week after week.
Yeah, Jay Gunera, Andrew Sprague.
Yeah, like they're dependable.
Yeah.
How important is that attribute, and what does it say about an underclassman to be able to achieve that status on this team?
I mean, it's huge. You look at it, and I remember watching the film on Sunday evening or whenever it was, and looking on the field in the USC game on offense, we had a redshirt freshman right guard, a redshirt freshman right tackle, a true freshman quarterback, a true freshman receiver, and a redshirt freshman running back. So, and was told we're the youngest team in the Big Ten. So for us, it's the experience of them playing football and keep doing it is what we need, and they're all dependable. Obviously, we've done guys have done a really good job recruiting the right players and people in the program. We got to keep doing that to evolve the program to where we want to go.
Last question, Aaron.
Sherrone, in terms of the defensive response today, what did you like most?
The response tackling, I thought that was awesome, but stopping the run. In this league, you got to be able to stop the run. If you can't stop the run, you don't got a chance. So for us to do what we did, holding them to 40-something yards with that running back and that quarterback, that's the most important piece, and was really proud of them for that.